Hello, sir. I'm Kayong, and I'm going to present my multi-threading tiny bus terminal program. What happened here is that each of these terminal, ticketing machine, counter 1, counter 2 customers are a thread. They are running concurrently. So for example here, when I wanted to call the bus terminal, I need to run the start function, which terminal is actually extending tracks. Terminal will be representing as a thread. Once this is being set up, I'm actually using semaphore to restrict the person that can enter to the terminal. And in this case, the foyer can only have 15%. So I have this semaphore to acquire and release accordingly. That will be while loop to ensure that there are 80 customers flowing in with respective ID. I'm using executor service to help me to control all of the tracks. It's a track pool. Using the submit method, I can control all in just one. So what the sleep does is that he will pause the thread running for a certain time. So I need to ensure that the customer enter within 1 to 3 seconds randomly. Implementing runnable, this is more on the track safety. There's one thing that is called future as well. And this is for track safety because buses is not being created beforehand. So what future does is that he will ensure that all of the bus that is created after then will be added to the list and everything will be recorded within the concurrent program. Okay, and the last thing that I'm using for the concepts is that atomic integer to ensure that all of the counters of the customers and so the generation of the bus number is being implemented accordingly, like let's say 1 2 3, there's no 2 is missing, directly go to 3. So this is being handled properly using atomic. Okay, right, so back to the execution. As you can see here, customer 1, the flow is that the customer will be created, then the customer will enter, which 15 for year, okay, the limit. And so customer will go and use either the ticketing machine or the counter to purchase the ticket. Whenever it's available, then the customer will go and use, which is very similar to what real world will happen. And then the customer will get a ticket from the ticket machine. And after then, the customer will proceed to the waiting area to wait for the bus. Okay, he will leave the terminal foyer and go to the waiting area. And each of the waiting area have a 10% limit. And then customer will wait for the inspector to check whether his or her ticket is valid. So the inspector will move on to the waiting area. Then after that, the customer will need to wait for the bus to come and so the inspector to come. So once the inspector is there, he will inspect the customer's ticket. If it's valid, okay, if it's valid, inspector and valid, then the customer will leave the waiting area and he will onboard the bus. Okay, so each of the waiting area, 1 2 3, we have a respective bus waiting there. So the bus will have a limit of 10 as well, so everything is being kept track here. Okay, and there are like 2 special scenarios. So for example, staff from counter 1 going to toilet break and counter 1 will be closed. And once the staff is coming back, okay, so once the staff is returned, then the counter 1 will open again. Okay, here, ticket machine has breakdown, so the ticket machine can't be used. And for these 2 cases, when the counter or the ticket machine can be used, the customer will need to go and queue for other place. So in this case, for example, 28, he can't get the ticket and he will leave the ticketing machines. Then after then, he will find for the slot to queue. Like for example, he went to counter 2 to get the ticket. Okay, and then when the ticket machine, the 40 ticket machine is being fixed, is available to work, then it will be able to use again. And there are 2 scenarios that I can't show here because the process is being handled properly. There is case that the bus terminal foyer will be full, so you trigger this. So this block function saying that entrance is blocked because the guard is there, and when bus is full, depart. Okay, as you can see here, depart from the waiting area, and or else when the bus waited for 50 seconds and in some case the waiting area is not full yet, so the bus is not being fully loaded with 10 persons, then the bus will start departing from the location for the customers. Yeah, and thank you for your time. Have a nice day.